Live from WEHT Local, this is Eyewitness News at 6 in high definition.
It is 6 o'clock, but is that Central Time or Eastern Time? Depends on where you live. Indiana is a state divided. The counties in red on Central Time, the rest of the state on Eastern. Well, one lawmaker, it's the other way around. The ones in red are on Eastern Time. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Bird.
And I'm Shelley Kirk. We have team coverage tonight looking at what commentators straddling the border of the two time zones think about the debate. And we're hearing from the lawmakers pushing for change. Eyewitness News' David Williams leads us off tonight from our Indiana State House newsroom.
It's the age-old question debated for decades. What time zone does Indiana belong in, Central or Eastern?
I personally would prefer Central Time. It's just something I've always been used to.
I think Eastern Time is cool.
Even some people in the same family don't agree.
I think Central. It'd be better. It'd be more focused.
We're in the Midwest. We're not in the Mideast or the East. And so just from kind of a rational perspective, we should be in the Central Time Zone.
Republican State Senator Eric Bassler's thought about it for years. Now he's working on a bill that would ask Governor Eric Holcomb to request that the federal government put all of Indiana within the Central Time Zone.
I would really like that.
Since the 1960s, Indiana's dividing Eastern Time Zone line has gradually moved west. Bassler argues we're more closely aligned with Chicago than D.C. or New York City.
So to think that we have to somehow be tied to New York because of the stock market or because of the bond market or to Washington, D.C. because of the politics, the federal government, just doesn't make sense.
At the Indiana State House newsroom, David Williams, Eyewitness News.
This is Stuart Hammer, and it's time to hear from you.
I want us all on the same time.
Knox County is an hour ahead of most in the tri-state.
I don't like it.
And most people in Vincennes want the state to pick one or the other.
It gets confusing sometimes.
The state's time zone map looks like a puzzle sometimes, with pieces going east and central. Indiana has experimented with other time zones in the past.
One time zone, make it easy for everybody.
Especially this close to the line, which time zone am I having to deal with?
Some say a unified time zone to help make kids safer at the bus stop is worth considering.
These kids don't need to stand out in the dark. I mean, that's stupid.
But it may just shift problems to a different time.
Be a good idea. But then you're going to be darker in the evenings when they get off, too, you know.
I understand the logic. I just think with yet another change, I think you're going to see a lot of disgruntled people.
Some may get wound up over this potential time shift.
Well, you forget your time, your appointment times, you know.
But it's not worth going cuckoo.
It makes it easier when you have doctor appointments out of town. And
jet lag, you know what I mean? And I only just had to go,
you have to switch back and forth on the time.
10 miles to cross that county line. I was going to be late.
Time marches on. And sometimes confusion does too.
If you forget to ask, then you're stuck.
Stuart Hammer, Eyewitness News.
Well, it's amazing how a clock can cause so much debate. So how does an area move from one time zone to another? The U.S. Department of Transportation says under federal law, the U.S. Secretary of Transportation may issue regulations making changes, or Congress can get involved with a statute. But the Department of Transportation's website says the latter hasn't happened in more than 60 years. And since the question is being raised, we want to know, are you in favor or against the entire state of Indiana switching to Central Time? Now, you can share your thoughts with us on our Eyewitness News Facebook page. And speaking of clocks, I'm trying to hold this one very comfortably and carefully, and here's why. The clock from Purdue University's bell tower came crashing to the ground, and it was caught on camera. The video was originally captured by student Yang Yu and sent to News 18 in West Lafayette. It shows crews working on the clock tower. The clock then breaks free from the crane, hits the bucket lift before hitting the bell tower and crashing to the ground. It's 160 feet tall, by the way. No one was hurt, and the company contracted to do the repairs is now reviewing what happened.